Agarwal, and today I'm in conversation with Tolulope Ayeni. She is the lead product manager at Rexel, along with being a product mentor. Currently based in Paris, France, she is managing a team of e-commerce product owners. Tolulope has worked with organizations in Israel and Canada as product mentor. She is an adaptable and smart leader. Thank you so much for joining me here and speaking a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
No, it's an honor to have you on here. So I'm just gonna start off with, how are you? What are you doing during quarantine? I know Paris doesn't have, they're not under lockdown now.
Yes, it's really different, I think, from the rest of the world right now, because we were hit way before the US. And I think we started our lockdown and it was really, really strict. I think it's been months now. We started around March, April, and we just got out of lockdown last month. It was basically progressive, and now we are just, I think we are totally out of lockdown for now. So it's, I feel pretty much easy. I mean, we're discussing this, you know, it's really great to be able to go out, sun, because in Paris, as you know, we don't have that much sun all year round. So when we have sunlight and it's summertime, we really want to go out and just enjoy the sun, at least feel the heat. So for now, I'm feeling really good, way better than when we were in lockdown. So yeah, we're pretty good.
Yeah, nobody wants to be indoors when the sun is out, especially during summer.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so can you describe more in detail what you do? Because I did mention a little bit in the intro, but it would be better to hear from you more in detail. Could you tell us?
Okay, so my profession is product management. If you know anything about that, it's basically building the right products for the right people at the right time. When we talk about products, it's it could be anything that solves a customer's problem. So it could be anything. For example, Netflix is a product for people who know well what that is. Amazon is a kind of product. So in relation to that, so I work in this industry. It's an energy industry. And my company, we have an e-commerce website, and I manage the development of the right features, the right functionalities on this website. With my other product managers who work with me, so the team, and of course a whole other team that we work with, designers, architects, and you know, all the teams that we work with, making sure that all the different features, functionalities that we have on the site are actually things that will help solve our customers' problems and help them order faster and, you know, quicker. Basically make their lives easier.
Yeah, you know, that's really interesting. But I would really like to hear how you kind of got to the place that you did. How did you decide that this was the field for you?
It's been a very long journey. I would say I started from computer science. Computer science was something I kind of grew into because I had access to computing from to computers when I was younger. I had a very nice relative who was a geek, basically, who would just drag me into all the different geeky stuffs and playing games and the likes, and trying to develop some programs, of which of course I didn't know that much about. But yeah, it was really fun being dragged into all of this. And so it was really a natural progression for me when it was time to decide, okay, what to do. So I was like, okay, I would go into computer science. I learned a lot about programming when I was starting out. I basically, it was just a natural progression after that. Of course, the funny thing is, since I spent a lot of time really designing, doing like basic development and stuff, and after I completed my computer science degree, so bachelor's degree, I just knew, because we spent a lot of time doing a lot of different projects together. We would work on Java, PHP, and then I just knew that I never wanted to be a developer after I got out of school. So I knew that what I really wanted to do was actually help and guide people, manage and lead people to developing the right thing, and not really be involved in the development itself. Because I saw that I at school actually worked with a lot of very, very nice and passionate developers. I didn't have that passion. So I was like, well, if I cannot have that passion and rival that, then there's no point. But I had this other passion, which was making sure they built the right thing, and which was making sure they built it on time, and which was basically leading them and telling them, you know, the vision, and making sure that everybody is working towards the right vision. And so I was like, that's exactly what I should be doing. It was pretty much easy, because then it was easy flowing into project management, which was where I started. After about I don't know 4 years after leaving, after my bachelor's, after doing project management, I did also a bit of data analysis along the side. Then I decided to go ahead and masters, which I did. I continued to do in management of information systems, so kind of following the same line. And then I kind of found product management. And product management mainly in an agile environment, because before I never really was in an agile environment. So when I started with agile, you know, product management, I was like, okay, that's exactly what I've been looking for, because I really wanted something that we could, you know, that I could start working on, but could easily adapt based on changing circumstances, based on changing market trends, based on changing requests, and something that would involve more collaboration. Remember, I was always excited about collaborating with a lot of people. So I found that the agile way of doing things actually involved more collaboration, more, you know, talking together with people, coming together to build the right solution. So it was exactly what I wanted. And for me, I thought going through that process actually made it possible for us to build and create the right things, you know, that customers and people actually loved at the end of the day.
Wow.
So yeah, that was how I discovered, and that's what I'm still into today.
Yeah. That's actually why I asked you, because I was interested. You said that I know that you started off in you started off with more of a technical degree, and then you got into management. So that's great to hear. And I'm curious, just listening to you, do you think now that you're like, of course you did do computer science as your bachelor's, do you think those skills that you learned, do you think that they help you now as a product manager?
Yes, and yes, yeah, I would say definitely yes, because they kind of helped me to understand, like, okay, the structures and the way of thinking, and when somebody is trying to, maybe a technical person is trying to explain something, I can understand. And but I don't think, because I know a lot of people ask this question saying, hey, do I need to be a technical person to be a product manager? I don't really think I really needed to have it, absolutely, because I know what usually happens is that when I have questions, the experts, the experts who are experts in their field, in all the different programming languages, they would be able to explain what they're trying to do to you. And I think that's the ability to be able to listen and understand their point of view is actually far more important than having technical knowledge.
Great. And talking about career options. So basically, I wanted to know, what would some career options be for people interested in this field?
Well, there's no traditional kind of path to go into product management. Why? Because product management is a very recent, especially agile product management, because there are different types. So it's a very recent a profession.
Okay.
So it means it's so recent that nobody is teaching that in school today. So you don't go to university to learn product management, except recently, I think that was November last year, November 2019. I think that was Ford University created a program for product management. And somebody also told me about University of Berkeley. So that's very recent. So meaning that most of the product managers that you see in the market, or that have this career today, started from somewhere else. So and from what I've seen, you would basically meet people like, oh, I used to be a project manager before, and then I found agile product management, and then I changed into that, which is my case. But I've also seen people that were like developers before. They were geeks, developers, and then they were like, okay, I want to do something more. I want to be more, and I want to go into product management, which would have been my case had I gone directly into development after my first degree, right? And you also have people who've been business analysts before, and then they're like, okay, I would go into product management because, oh, I really love this aspect of being able to build products, doing the product research, product discovery, and all of that. And you also have people who were designers, okay, people who love to design, and they're like, okay, I want to go into the next step of being able to actually prioritize what we're going to build and actually make product decisions. And we also have people who've been product marketers, marketing managers, for example, who just say, okay, I'm into marketing and all of that, but I would also like to be involved in that creation aspect and the discovery aspect to be able to actually build something from scratch. So it really, really depends on depends on the people's on the wish of career development, because anybody can come from anywhere. Just what's important is that the moment you decide that you want to go into product management, know that it's a different profession. So whatever you're bringing into it is going to help you, of course, to be good. You're going to bring some parts into it, some design parts, some marketing parts and things, but you will still have to learn the profession of product management. So yeah, for me, I think I wouldn't say there's one traditional path, but there are many paths that lead to product management. It's just, again, once you get in there, you know that you have to learn product management as a profession.
Nice. That's great. So a lot of things can lead up to product management. It's not always like a singular path. Okay, that's cool. So you just said that product management is a very new thing that has been introduced. So what do you think the future looks like for product management? And in your
Well, the future is bright, definitely, because so the thing is, product management is an answer to how do we, it's this question of how do we make sure that we are building the right products for the right people, like I said before, and how do we make sure that we are solving customers' problems and we are solving the right problems. So then the question is, will we always have problems?
Yeah.
Yes. So is product management going to disappear? No, because there will always be some problem to solve, and you will see, and that's why we have a whole lot of startups, because startups are coming in to solve different problems. I mean, Uber solved the problem of transportation, not easy to get a taxi, and when you even get a taxi, you have to pay through your nose to get it, or it's difficult to actually get it to come exactly to your point, to where you are currently. Or Airbnb solved the problem of, okay, when I'm traveling, I want to stay in a nice place, but I also want to feel like I'm home, away from home. I want to be able to, make my own meals or things like that. So, I mean, there will always be some different problems to solve. And as long as we have a problem to solve, I mean, product management is always going to be there. What I can say, though, is that it will continue to evolve. So basically, you won't, I mean, product management is still evolving. Basically, I know what the knowledge they had about product management before, when it became popular. I wouldn't say when it started. When it became popular, it's not the same as what they have today. And there is a vast amount of resources everywhere to actually get, help people to become better product managers. But it's definitely here to stay.
That's a really cool way of thinking about it. Like, there's always going to be a problem that you need to solve, and that's why we always need product managers to be around. That's great. And lastly, if you could sum up all the advice that you have into kind of one thing, what would you advise? What would be your one piece of advice for the next generation of leaders?
Well, I was saying earlier that I kind of decided at a point that this is not what I want to do because I don't enjoy it that much. This is what I think I can do because I really do enjoy it and I'm good at it. I enjoy doing it. And I think knowing that at a very early age, I'm not going to say that but it was really early. Knowing that actually really helped me to kind of fix and focus on what I should be doing and not doing at that time. And I think that's actually the most important thing that you could do to help yourself as a person. And I think what really helped me was, of course, I was also exposed to that possibility of trying out a lot of things and then being able to say, oh yeah, definitely not that, I definitely don't want to do that. And how did I also discover that? Because for example, we had assignments, of course, computer science and engineering technology. We did a lot of things from hardware to software. You can imagine all of that. And we would have assignments, and then I would spend um, sleepless nights, really sleepless nights, trying to just make an application work. Uh, and sometimes it would be a comma or a comma or colon somewhere, or semicolon that is just messing up the code.
Mhm.
And then I would spend sleepless nights, and it was really excruciating. The thing was, when we talked about that amongst my classmates, some people were just excited about that, about spending those sleepless nights trying to debug something. I was just like, what? That's just a waste of my time, you know. And of course, even if I got it at the end of the day, it was a really, a fulfilling, because I was like, oh, I really, put the work into it, and I got that. It was really good. But still, I was like, I don't think I really enjoyed that process. And so I think it's always important to kind of do some introspection and say, okay, what I'm doing right now, is this something I really enjoy doing? And can I try something else and see if I enjoy doing that? I think it's very important in order to kind of say, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. You need to try out a lot of things. Okay, and of course, when people are young, it's easier to do that, because you can try your hands into writing, try I don't know, art, painting, you can try I don't know, designing, you can try programming, you can try managing a team or leading a team. You can basically try a lot of things, and then that will actually inform your choice about, okay, I definitely think I'm good at this and I should do it. Also, I'm saying that, but at the same time, remember that even at the young age, you still not learned everything. Okay, you will definitely learn things along the way, but so it's also important to be open-minded and say, okay, at this point, maybe I'm learning this. I would be interested in learning something else. I'll be interested in learning something else more. So it's important to continue that learning process. But at the same time, the more you learn, the more you understand more about yourself, who you are, what you're capable of doing, and what you basically love doing. So it's really important to try those things, try different things at an early age, so that it'll help inform your choice. It's not good to just fix your mind on something and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm doing. I think we have a lot of leaders that go out of their way to try different things until they find that one thing that is, okay, yes, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep at it, and I'm going to succeed at it. So I think that's really important at an early age.
Yep, perseverance. Well, that was some really great advice. Thank you for that. And I learned a lot from our little talk. So have a great day and take care. Bye.